Hey, welcome back. It's Laura again from Hyperstamper. I have another very, very pretty junk journal here. This one is from the 1930s called Golden Windows. Look at this sweet little cover here. And it's got the great little spine, and I made a bangle from some vintage jewelry. This actually was blue and white. I took the white out and left these pretty blue beads, and then just added some burnt orange colored silk ribbon to match the cover, and just some other more modern ribbon there. So let's have a look inside of this very pretty journal. I left the original pages here, and then this is from the 1920s. It was cursive writing practice in a school book, which I think is really cool because I know they don't do cursive writing anymore in schools, which just blows my mind. Here's a very pretty journaling tag and an awesome page from a 1940s women's magazine. Look at these crafts in here. They're just awesome. Winsome sachets, really, really fun. And then over here is just more antique paper to journal on and a color bingo card. Those were very rare because the numbers only went from 1 to 15. It didn't take off as a marketing project, so they scrapped it. So there are not a lot of them out there. These are prints from a 1930s history book. Really, really cool prints. Here's another plate here, a history book, 1920s ledger page, and more of this awesome cursive writing. There's the L, my initial there. It's going to keep that page, but you know, weird. Anyways, let's keep going here. Another journaling tag made out of some a children's book page, learning about food. Another little game scorecard here from a vintage game, and this is from an antique piano player roll box, and you can sort of see it there in the I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but it's embossed on here, the name of that company that makes those. And then this is so cool, from 1876. See that? 1876. And that would have been a United States Internal Revenue license for manufactured tobacco. That's very precious, very cool. You can do lots of fun things with that. And then we have an antique book page here and a vintage recipe full page spread here with that's sort of photography, very typical of the era there. And then we have children's book pages and a vintage hanky here. Full hanky. It's just absolutely lovely. Linen hanky there. I love it. And this was a pressed flower that I found in one of the antique books I purchased. And I think that's really neat. Did some hand stamping here and some bits and bobs. This is from the Bobbsey Twins book here. Just some blank pages for you to journal on as well. That's from the 40s. And then we have a plate from the Old English Garden book from the early 1900s. I know it looks modern, but it is not. It's just really quite beautiful. 1930s Monopoly money and a vintage playing card here, which is very, very pretty. Embroidery page here, vintage. Another antique children's book page here. This is a really cool, look at that telephone. Isn't that neat? I love it. And that's from the Theatre World magazine from 1952. And this is some of that early 1900s wallpaper border that would have been hand painted or hand rolled with paint. And I made some of that into tags. Thank you, my sister Donna, for that. And this is another fun journaling tag, 1900 book page from a book on antique china. Another antique book page here made into a journaling card and a little hidden paper clip there that you can move around. And this is from the Magic Garden. Lovely book page there with great publisher images here. And here's a little book page from a vintage bird book. Some hand stamped pages. Those are the only ones that aren't authentic ephemera. The rest is all very real and very old. That's from the 1920s, a scrapbook page there. And this is just, I took a little recipe piece here and turned it into a little booklet filled with all scraps of my antique paper, and this is made out of a vintage recipe card, which is kind of cool. More vintage and antique things here. 2 1950s Pearl Shop receipts there, 1, 2, and another one of these wonderful theater pages. That brings us to the end. So I hope you love it as much as I loved making it. You can visit me at hyperstamper.etsy.com.